understand who killed the dog was.
Well, I just think...
Hey everyone, welcome to Breuniverse. I assume I'm looking right there. Is that right, Mike?
Yep.
It is. Mike, this is throwing you off because I'm in a studio. It's completely throwing you off.
It's so professional. I love it.
It is super professional. It sounds professional.
Yeah, it does.
I forgot what this sounds like.
Dude, you sound so good, man.
I know. I almost just want to talk for the sake of talking, just to hear the quality of it all.
Wow.
So, you had a good week, Mike?
Yeah, man. Week was good. How about you?
The comments from last week's show people were really into that. I heard a lot of, wow, I need to hear something like that. And then I started talking about what's leading up to today. Mm-hmm. So there's some expectation of today, and I think it's going to be, I don't think we're going to lay one down. So let me let everyone know I do have some more shows coming out. If you're in the Florida area, I have Naples, April 7th and 8th. I guess Rob Schneider was going to be there. He can't be there. They asked me to fill in. It's almost sold out. So it was a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I really, listen, I'm going to talk to my man in Naples right now. I don't understand who runs your marketing or if it's just the area. I don't understand how you don't sell out so quick. Every time I book Tampa, which I'm playing tonight, it sells out immediately. Every time I book Sarasota, it sells out immediately. I book Naples, and you're like, oh man, I don't. He's a nice guy, but he's like, I love when guys do this too. They go, wait, how much you want for the night? Less than what I'm making an hour north of you, and he's giving me the whole door. And he doesn't sell food and drinks. All right, I'm getting into but I love this. He'll say, guy, I'm not making any money. I love when people say that. Of course, why would we go in business? We go in business not to make money. I love when people say, I'm not making any money. Sure, you're not making any money. Okay. So today also, the I Got Your Six Foundation with James Urban. He's actually taken the veterans, and they are out on a fishing trip right now. Then we're going to catch up after this podcast, and then we'll talk about that a little bit next week. Maybe we'll get James and some of those veterans to come on and talk about what he's doing and how cool that is. So check this out. I did a show called That Show Tonight. I'm curious to see how you felt about it if you watched it. You do have to pay for it. I think it's $4.99 or $4.50. But I'll tell you what, it was if this guy gets a little funding and a staff, the show's going to be a monster. Yeah, I think it's going to be a monster. The amount of applaud breaks and cheering that was going up, the amount to allow you to be on live TV and just improv is through the roof. And I will say SNL's dropping the ball horrendously. I never blame the cast, but they need to pick it up. Also, real quick, will you stop talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock? I'm going to say this right now. I'll put everything out there. That was a staged event. You're going to tell me, first of all, nobody watches who watches the Oscars? Nobody. Who went to the movies in the last year or two? Nobody. Last year, Ricky Gervais called out Hollywood for being pedophiles, raping kids, going to Epstein's Island. Nobody said a peep. Let me repeat that. Live television, Ricky Gervais. You want to talk about Screw Chris Rock and Will Smith. Talk about what Ricky Gervais said last year on live television. Pedophiles, which is a cute word for raping a child. Pedophile. Hey, I'm just a pedophile. You rape children. Nobody's talking about that? Did you see the looks on their faces when he was calling them all out? And he didn't call them out for 10 seconds. He called them out for a solid 3 minutes. He called out Leonardo DiCaprio. He called out the head of Apple Television. They pointed the camera to Tom Hanks. So you keep talking about Will Smith. First of all, Chris Rock is from New York. That's number one. Number two, he lives in New Jersey. You're telling me, and he's never hung out with Will Smith? All right, you've got to be a fool to think those two don't spend time together. It's a Hollywood suck-ass show. It's all about the glitz and the glamour. You know? Big smile. So you're going to tell me you believe, first of all, a guy gets up on live television after a joke, right? And anyone with instincts and common sense, let's say I'm friends with him. Let's say my friend is coming out of the audience who I clearly have spent time with. Don't tell me Chris Rock and Will Smith don't know each other. Please don't insult your own intelligence. Stop believing everything you watch. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. No one's talking about Hunter's laptop. No one's talking about Russia. No one's talking. We're all going to talk about this supposed slap. If he gets up out of the audience and approaches me, if it's in good faith, you reach your hand out for a hug or the big high-five slap and you grab each other's arms. Chris Rock put his hands behind his back and leaned in. Who does that? Oh, gee, here comes someone out of the audience. I'm going to put my hands behind my back and lean in. And then Will Smith, if Will Smith is that pissed, he's just going to slap him and walk back to his seat? Come on, man. Tell you what, my Pizza Hut commercial is more real than what I watched on the Oscars. And then Will Smith just sits down. Nobody's, I guess it's cool for anyone to get up, smack someone, and then sit in the front row. Are you really that stupid? I think a lot of people are. And then he wins the Oscar from a movie nobody watched. No offense to Will Smith, but when you crank to this level, you're done. It's over. It's over. Thank God it happened. It just puts a nail in the coffin that no one cares about Hollywood. Nobody. And if this is what they have to go to make you pay attention to them and listen to them and listen to their little speeches. Oh, let's help here. Let's be quiet. You know, have Amy Schumer lecture us. Like, who are you talking about? Oh, my God. Stop talking about it. Stop giving attention. I'd have more respect for you if you started talking about Rick the Gervais of last year. Rewatch that. That has way more things to talk about than this staged nonsense, ridiculous, dumb event in history. It's stupid. It's stupid. What a ridiculous thing to be excited. You might as well watch Maury Povich. There's more entertainment in that if it still exists. Stop wasting your soul on this nonsense. Now we're going to get into heavy stuff. This is a quick turnaround. I'm with my friend Sean here.
What's up, Jim?
How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing good.
So now I get
that was exciting.
That was exciting. I had to get that off my chest.
You seem fired up.
Well, first of all, and I'm going to show you, by the way, for the audience, I'm going to show you 2 video clips of that night where you clearly see, because I said, whenever everyone started texting me, like, what do you think about this? I'm like, what do you think about what? I'm not watching TV. Why would I watch TV? Oh, it's the Oscars. Who's watching the? Why would you be watching the Oscars? And it was an entertainment person. So I said, wait till tomorrow because you can't fake anything today. Tomorrow they're going to have all different angles, slow motion. I want to see the slow motion. And when you see the slow motion, you see how ridiculous it is. You see Jada Smith. She first smiles and then looks at the camera. And when she sees the camera's on, she makes the face. Will Smith, applaud break, laughs. And then the camera's gone. And now he's walking towards stage. Come on, man. We just, oh my God, the goofy, whatever. I'm going to show you. No, I'm going to prove my point. I'm going to show you what I see. And you clearly see Chris Rock squint and lean in, and then as his hand's coming up, he's already leaning back. You're not even going to try to put your face, you're not even going to put your hand, come on, stop it. Good God. Oh, interesting point. Anyway, and that's whatever. Yeah. So I told you guys last week about this week, I guess, this is one of those stories where whatever your faith is, whatever your spirituality, whatever you believe. I had my middle daughter today, actually yesterday, go, I don't believe in God. And I said, all right, well, that's fine. But I think this is one of the first times where I started really getting into, I already had a sense, I don't know what it is, a higher presence, an energy, whatever. So the story goes, Sean and I were neighbors in Florida, Palm Harbor, lovely Palm Harbor.
Beautiful place.
I think back then it was, in the 80s it was.
Yeah.
Do you ever
was
go?
it 86?
Yeah. No, I moved down.
It was right after that series.
I moved down.
Because I remember just hating you because you were a Mets fan.
I moved down in 87.
Yeah.
And
I just had my heart ripped out.
Because you were from Boston.
Yeah.
Okay. So I moved down and I was pissed at my parents. From Long Island, I moved to Palm Harbor, Florida. I was so mad at them. I knew these people my whole life growing up in Long Island, Valley Stream. And then we move. We have you neighbors, you and your sister, Kristen. And I gave it, I think, 3 months. I moved out in October. She invited me. You guys were all going to a Pink Floyd show. Did you go to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was like, you got to go to Pink Floyd. I'm like, I ain't going to Pink Floyd. She's like, just wait to Pink Floyd. I'm like, no, I'm not going to Pink Floyd. I'm out of here. Florida's stupid. I'm out. So I didn't give it a chance. I moved back up north to Long Island. Didn't last there long. I realized it's the first time in my life I realized when you leave somewhere, like my daughter's going through this. She went through it for a couple months. When you move, you think, oh my God, everything was so amazing when I lived up there. Every day was filled with amazing events. And you realize that's not what life is. You have spurts of amazing moments, like a career of anyone, and everything in between. There's a lot of boring. There's a lot of nothingness. There's a lot of questioning, doubt, everything. So I went back up north and I realized, all right, everyone has jobs. We're not still on the same street. We can't play stickball every day. We're like 19. Okay, I gotta survive. I gotta make money. I gotta rent. So I ended up moving back to Florida, back to Palm Harbor. Sean's, how old are you in 88? 88? Jeez.
14.
You're 14.
14. Yeah.
Damn.
15. At the end
wow.
of it. Yeah.
Okay. So the way we reconnected, because after 1988, I moved out of Palm Harbor, I want to say in 1992. Maybe, actually,
I think it was a little earlier than that.
it was, I think it was 91, December 91, somewhere around there. Maybe the end of November of 91. Yes. And then, so after that, me and Sean lose touch. Heavy stuff goes on, which I'm going to get into. But the way we reconnected, to me, is the most mind-blowing event that has happened to me multiple times. And the only reason I tell these stories is because I truly think it's in all of us. Some people say, no, it's just me. I find that hard to believe. It's in all of us. We just don't know it exists. It's mind-boggling. And I'm not going to exaggerate it. I'm not going to lie. I have nothing to sell but truth. And hopefully it can help people. That's it. So the journey begins with this. Now, me and your sister, I have to say we're best friends. We're best friends. I'm living down in Palm Harbor, and I would talk to Kristen as much as we can. At the end of the nights, we'd always meet in the middle of our houses. We were right next to each other, and she smoked.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, why are you smoking? She's like, oh, you smoke. She called me Goober. She always called me Goober. What's going on, Goober?
It's right? Like the little fence area where the garbage cans go.
Yes.
Hiding there.
Yeah. So we would hang out all the time, and we'd talk, and she was my best friend. She was hands down my best friend. So as time goes on, and this is another thing, I didn't really know that Kristen liked me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah. She always played it pretty cool.
I had zero clue. And then as we would move along, and the reason why, there was one time where I'm like, hey man, you want to go to Busch Gardens? And Chris is like, yeah, sure. And then I had to sit down with Patrick, who was your stepdad at the time, and your mom, and Patrick, your stepdad, gave me this whole lecture on respect. And I'm like, we're just going to Busch Gardens. Like, we're going to see animals and stuff. Like, what's going on? We're hanging out. We're friends. We're hanging out. So I didn't know what the backstory was, and now I think about it, oh my God. As I'm sitting here now, I thought about, oh my God, how many times she must have thought maybe we're going to connect here or there. And then I start telling her about stand up and want to be a comedian and all this jazz. And she would hook me up with other girls. She's like, oh, you would like my friend, Trish. She'd ask me, what is your type? I had no clue. She's totally playing me. And then, so long story short, I don't know if you know about this. I find out later that Kristen and another girl who I won't mention made a bet. And the bet was...
Oh, yeah.
You knew about this?
Yeah.
I didn't know about this. So you were in on this?
I heard about it later. I didn't know about it at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you hear? You heard it from me or
No, from
the person?
a different
Someone
person.
else.
Yeah.
No kidding. Okay, so me and Kristen, Kristen and another girl put a bet on who's gonna break the boundary with me first.
Yeah.
I have no clue this is going on. And Kristen starts wearing different clothes. And I was like, okay, who does? She's just the neighbor. She's a friend. Don't. It's too close. And she was, I was definitely starting to feel, but I was like, oh, don't. So long story short, the other girl wins. The other girl gets the... And
what a prize.
She wins the prize. Did I even know it was a prize? Had zero clue. And then I have to say, after I found out, it kind of screwed me up. After I'm like, whoa. It screwed me up on a level of, whoa, you guys made a bet. And, oh, damn, she lost. And she probably likes me or loves me more. Wow. Wow.
I think like her connection with you though was a lot more than like that stuff.
It was a multi-layer.
Like,
it was a deep.
She's the funniest person
she was
ever.
Belly laughing funny.
Yeah. All the time.
Belly laughing funny.
And then when you two got together, it was like having a fucking show in my living room.
Yeah. It was mayhem.
And you were over the house all the time.
All the time.
Like, I loved when you came over and then the two of you would just try to outdo each other with like stupid shit.
Yeah.
And,
it was,
you know what I mean? And,
no.
But she was, no other human being on the planet has ever made me laugh as hard as her.
Yes.
Like, as from what I can remember when we were little kids.
Yeah. No, she was belly laughing funny. And I think that's what that's why I was so close with her.
Yeah.
I don't have any other friends in Florida that I remember. I have tons of them.
Yeah.
She's the only. So with that said, I break it off with the other girl, or the other girl breaks it off with me. And now I kind of, and there's also a time where, there was a time where your sister had a couple drinks, and I don't know if she did on purpose. And she came in my house, and now that I remember, she was clearly trying, and it took everything in my willpower, but I always wonder. So with that said, now I don't talk to her for she's mad at me.
Yeah.
She's mad she lost the bet, and she's mad at other events. And I can only imagine, oh, damn, I didn't. During that time, it was probably my worst period because I needed her around. I hated not being able to talk to her. I hated not having my best friend to goof off of. And I actually started feeling attracted, ready to make the next move. So I don't talk to her for I don't know. It could have been 2 weeks, could have been a month. I can't remember exactly. But all I remember is I literally was driving, and I went, God, please, if I need to talk to Kristen. I need to, if I see her, can you just let us talk? I don't know if she was avoiding me or whatever, but I always kind of drive by and look, and she wasn't there. And then sure enough, that freaking night, that I was like, please, I just need to talk to her, blah, blah. I roll past and I see her, and I'm like, hey, you got a minute? She's like, yeah. So we're in the breezeway. And when we were in the breezeway, she told me everything. And I told her everything. And what I thought was even more incredible was she met someone that day on the beach. Did you know about this?
No.
So she met whoever she had a crush with. She saw them on the beach that day, and the person, they're from Boston, and she said, "Oh, I had an amazing day. I saw this guy. I always had a crush on. I always liked him, and he said he'd go to prom with me." So she had a prom date.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you know who the guy was?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He's still around?
We
have no clue.
Yeah.
It was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So now the night ends, and I wanted to kiss her, but I also felt like, we got past the first stage of now we're reconnected. So I leaned in, I gave her this kiss just on her forehead. And it's a kiss I'll never forget the rest. I can go right back to it right here, right now. I cannot explain the moment. It was one of the most beautiful moments in my entire lifetime. I felt so deeply connected to Kristen. And I literally saw like, oh wow, this may turn into something. This is going to be amazing. And I also realized I'm not sure I've ever had someone that I trust that loves me the way she does on a friend level and everything else. And then, she's like, hey, come with me tomorrow. She had a class and camera class, and long story short, the tragedy hit the next day. Now, here's where it gets a little more incredible for me, which I always, this made me question, and I don't know if it's an ego thing or self, who am I to think this way, and why me, and whatever, but I just remember, it was just, I don't have to tell you, it was horrifying. I knew I was going to go into stand-up, but I also knew when I was younger that it was more of a healing thing. So I was in a struggle between healing and I wanted leather pants like Eddie Murphy. I wanted to be a star. I wanted to get slapped by Will Smith 50 years later and be Chris Rock wearing the leather pants and have monkeys and all this other stuff in the house. But I'll never forget, there were so many heavy spiritual God things for me. And I had to bring you here only because people know I'm not just talking out my ass. The first one was at the funeral, that was the first funeral I've ever been to. It was beyond emotional.
Yeah.
I felt horrible for you. That's another thing. People don't, you were a kid. How old are you? 14, 15?
Yeah,
You were about
15.
15.
Yeah.
So you were I saw your eye. You were mangled, as anyone would be. So I was like, oh my God, oh my gosh, holy shit. And I remember going into the funeral and I went, this ain't, I can't, this is too much. This is too much. I went in and I was like, that ain't Kristen. That ain't, it was too much. So I went outside and a bunch of people came outside. I don't know if you were part of that. I don't think you were. Maybe you were. But when I went outside, I started saying, this is not what Kristen wants. Kristen would want. And I said, someone give me a cigarette. And I take the cigarette and I started imitating your sister, talking to all of us from heaven or wherever she's at, and blah, blah. And everyone started laughing really hard. And then they would encourage, and then we started bouncing off each other. And then there was a moment, and I don't know how long it was. I don't know if it was 1 minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, where it stopped. And there was a crowd in a circle around me, and I went, oh wow. And I don't know if your father came out or what. And I went, oh wow.
No, I was out there then.
You were?
Yeah.
Do you remember? And I remember at one moment I said, whoa, this ain't, I'm sorry. We shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't make, and I don't know who was like, no, please keep doing this. This is great. Do you remember any of that? Like, am I crazy?
Yeah.
That went down.
Then
like
there was
that.
like a weird rainbow.
Oh no, we're getting to that.
Okay.
We're getting to that. So that was the first moment where I realized this may be the most horrifying moment for so many of us. And yet we're all outside and we're healing each other laughing. Just the moment of healing.
Yeah.
Now comes, the burial, which was another whole, oh my God. This moment blew me away. So we're in the house. I guess it's over. We're done. Now we went to your house, and that's what you do. You do the whatever it is sandwiches. I never understood that either. Hey, I lost someone I love. Come on my house for a sandwich. Let's have some baked ziti.
There's always deli meat involved.
Hey, let's get some deli meat and olives. Hey, listen, Uncle Tommy's dead, but I got some olives. Let's go to town. Who's got mayonnaise? A little mayo, a little mustard. We're going to enjoy death.
Eating sandwiches and suits.
Sandwiches and suits. What a custom. Even like a funeral. Let's just go to the casket, go, oh, yeah, looks great. Okay. You got to line up people because it sucks to be you. Hey, Sean, I'm really sorry about your loss. Are you? I think I've saw you once in the last 6 years, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Who came up with that custom? Anyway, we're at your house. It was a beautiful day. It was clear sky. I went outside. I start sobbing. And I started praying, or whatever you want to call it. And I said, Kristen, where are you? What is going on? What happened? Where are you? Oh my God, what's going on? Are you all right? Dude, as I do that, I look up and there's a gorgeous circular rainbow around the sun, which, yes, I know happens.
Yeah.
But it's directly above your house. And I ran into the house. I said, everyone, come out here. Come out here. I started asking about Kristen. Look what's above that. And people were coming out of the house, and that was sick.
Yeah.
And now would have been there? Probably. But is it I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I went out of the car, I look up, and there's this I was blown out of my mind. I don't know if that's the way we look at things. For other people, maybe something else. For me at that time, at that moment. And I remember, do you remember anything about the rain?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my Aunt Mary made a painting of it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's a real simple, it's just the sun and a circular rainbow around it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Because I just remember everyone I ran inside and told everyone, you got to see this. You got to see this. And we all came running out and we looked up. We're like, wow.
It was weird.
It was weird because it was a clear day.
I know it happens, but I've never seen one that's a perfect circle.
Same.
Up there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And it was directly above your house.
Yeah.
It was weird. And it was clear. So there were no clouds in the sky. That's what blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I get it if it was cloudy. You're like, all right, that
yeah.
That made me more that made me start thinking heavier about life and spirituality and God and everything. Now, I'm going to head north to pursue the career, because now this is over, and the next 2 years, I remember I was really worried about you. You were a mess.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, you're a kid. No one teaches you how to do this. There's no classes for that. They'll teach you about geometry and Ponce de Leon, but they're not going to teach you, hey, sorry I didn't do my homework. I had this little thing called my sister is gone.
Yeah.
Dealing with some heavy emotions here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, plus just like the popularity of it at school.
Oh, damn. I didn't even think about that.
Like, so everybody was like,
oh,
either like,
and then the other girl was in a coma for like 2 months. So people were still worried about her and they're talking. So the emotion, oh my God, I didn't even think about the high school. Everybody knew. I've never seen so many people at a funeral in my lifetime. The cars to line up they were miles long.
Yeah.
There were miles.
Yeah.
It was insane. So now I'm doing stand-up, and there's a part of me going, God, I wish she would have been fun to have this journey with. P.S. cut to, I'm ready to leave. And I would go, I don't know if you know this, but I'd always go to her grave, and I would light up her favorite. I think she smoked Marlboro Lights. She liked Marlboro Lights. So I go there, I'd smoke a lot of Marlboro Lights. Disgusting. Horrible, disgusting. I bring flowers, and we talk the way I'd regularly talk. And I cried, I talked to her. So now I'm going up north, and I sit down. Kristen, I'll never forget this. I said, Kristen, I'm going up north. I go, well, I'm going for the stand-up, and I really do think I'm going to do really good. Please, my worry in life is I need a girl that I would trust like you. I know I'm going to make it, so I pray to God I find a girl that loves me for me the way you did. And if you can help me with that, because I don't want to meet her after I make it. I'm never going to trust any female after I make it. Which I still think this day. God forbid someone asks my wife.
It's hard.
It's hard.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but I could imagine it's hard.
Yeah. That's the least of anyone's worries. So
why are they saying this?
Yeah. No. And I'm talking to your sister, and I'm going, Kristen, please bring that girl in my life. I only trust you. You'll pick a good one. You'll pick a real good one. So I go up north. And the first day I get there, I get a call from a friend that we were all friends with, but I never looked at dating her. Like, I never thought it. So long story short, it's one of our crew, and it's who I'm currently married to. Like the minute I saw my wife, I went, oh my God, I'm gonna marry you. Like, the hell is going on right now? And the minute we reconnected, and we were in New York, and I'm like, why are you in Long Island? Why are you in Long Island? Are you in Florida, Long Island?
Yeah.
And the story was so bizarre. She was on this boat. She was seeing this guy, and they broke up, but she couldn't stand her mother. She didn't want to go back to her mother. She was stuck on Long Island by herself. She called Florida looking for me just to say hello. And my mom said, he just moved to Long Island. And so she started calling the house I was at, and I blew her off for like 2-3 weeks. I'm up here. I don't want to be with women. I don't want to be partying. I want to get on TV, get in film. I'm here for a career, case closed. And I saw D, and next thing you know, we're married. So a year and a half later, we're married. Now, as time goes on, life is good. I'm doing okay. I think I may have come across you a couple times. So I visit my parents. You were going through all these different stages of your life. But here's where it gets wild. I get invited. I haven't seen you in a long time. And I forget what year it was, but I feel like there was 2 straight years where I started thinking about your sister, and I actually started writing a book. I want to say maybe it was around 2008. I started writing this book of the journeys of my life and how they're, and it says to this day, it's called, because they made me say I'm not. They really wanted Half Baked and all that. I'm like, I don't want. I want to sell the heavier. I want people to hear the heavier, deeper spiritual shit.
Yeah.
And so the book is called "I'm Not High," by a lot of stories about, and at the end of it, and a spiritual warrior, because those are the stories for me to have way more value than, hey, when I was hanging out with Mayor Giuliani, it was great, but I can't stop thinking of you. And I keep thinking, oh my God, because I started writing about your sister. And as I'm writing now, I'm getting all these memories and all these reflections. And I started going, oh my God, I think Sean never heard some of these stories, and maybe they can be healing, and maybe they can help. Like, does he know about the night before? Does he know about how I felt? Does he know any of these stories? Does he know she was going to go? She had a prom date. She was worried about being a prom. So I felt I had all these possible closures. And I don't know why the voice just kept saying, go find Sean. Go talk to Sean. Go talk to Sean. Go see how Sean's doing. So I get invited, of all things, to do a Brian Johnson. I'm coming to see Brian Johnson of AC/DC.
It was like his birthday or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his friggin' birthday. It's his it's his surprise birthday party on my kids' lives. Yeah, I'm excited to go. But at the same time, I was like, I'm going down for a different reason. And I couldn't get that out of me. I couldn't. Something else is going on down there. So I told Dee, my wife, and she's like, "Oh, pray about it." Like, okay, I'm gonna pray. So I go down there, and I go, "Oh my God, let me look for Sean." So I drove by, and you weren't there, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's gone." Well, any clue how? Yeah, I know. So I have no clue how to contact you. I've lost all contact with you. Oh shit. I gotta talk to him. Like, he has to hear this. Surely someone knows. And I asked some neighbor, nobody knows. I go down and do the Brian Johnson thing. We go out on a boat for his birthday. It's me. It's the lead singer of Cheap Trick. And we're partying and we're singing and we're having a great time. And I'm a jackass and life is good. The next day, I fly out of Tampa because he's down in Sarasota, this party. And I drive up early and I go to the Tampa airport. On my kids' lives, this is, I'm not going to exaggerate this. I walked to the parking lot. Now, yes, I had a little one-hitter back then. I take my one hit. And I start looking up the sun, and I say, God, I know you want me to connect with Sean. I don't know how to contact him. I totally trust you're gonna fit. It'll just happen. And when it happens, let me say the right things. Let me say the right, because I know it's not me that can heal. Just let me be the vessel and you go right through me and say what you got to say. And let me say it right. So that's maybe a 15, 20-minute event. And then I stop and I'm staring. And I walk back into Tampa Airport. And in Tampa Airport, you got to take a tram to your gates. So you go in, there's a main area. But before you get to the tram, you got to show them your ticket. And then after you show them your ticket, it's like a little first security thing. You don't get frisked or nothing. Then you go on the tram. Then you go through the real security. I give him the ticket. I walk out. I'm about to go on the tram. And I hear, Jim. Just like that. Not like a fan going, Jim Breuer. I hear, Jim. And I turn around and I see you, but I don't recognize you. Because the last time I saw you, I think you had a mohawk.
Yeah.
You were skinny. Yeah. You were tiny. You were younger.
You described it in the book as I saw this heavy set guy.
Yeah.
There's a million different ways you could have described me from that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I turn around and I see this really fat guy.
And I feel like you were bigger.
I was huge then. Yeah.
You were definitely bigger.
Yeah, I was giant.
You were definitely bigger. So I looked at you. I looked at you and I go, hey, how you doing? So I'm waiting for you to go, hey, man, I love Go Boy. I love you inside. I love the movie Half Baked. And you went, it's Sean. And I still didn't get it. You went, it's Sean. I went, okay. You and Sean Pomeroy. And I sorry to curse, but blown out of my fucking mind. And I walked up to you and I went, holy shit. If you knew the event that led to this I said, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck is going on right now? What is, you gotta understand something. I'm in the parking lot catching a buzz, praying, bring Sean to my life. I don't know how this is going to happen, but I know it's for a healing thing.
Yeah.
And now you're fucking in the airport as I'm going on and you're what? The fuck is going on? Call it a coincidence. Knock yourself out. And I went, what do you, and you said you just came back from Boston. What were you doing? I blanked. All I heard was Boston and your
dropping,
dad.
I was dropping my son off. He was going back to his mom's in Georgia. Because I had my middle child Celia with me. She was probably 5 years old.
I don't even remember.
She was just kind of running around while we were talking.
I don't even remember that. All I remember is just being completely blown out of my mind.
Yeah.
That I'm about to get on that tram. And you go, yeah, I saw you. I was like, oh, it's Jim. And I went, please, just give me your number. I said, I have to talk to you.
Yeah.
What? I can't even. Is that coincidence?
Yeah.
Is it?
I wouldn't have sought you out. Because in all honesty, I was like pissed at you.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I don't know if it was.
No, be honest. Tell me why.
Yeah. It was, we had like the Christmas party every year.
In Boston?
At my mom's.
Okay.
Every year they would throw like a Christmas Eve thing or whatever.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You had come down one year. See, I don't even know if you were there or not, but
I might have.
Your dad and your mom came over.
Okay.
And I was like, is Jimmy coming over? And your dad was like, well, he's a little too famous now, so
is that what he said?
He's not going to be coming over. Yeah.
No.
I don't know if
my dad said that.
Yeah. I have a feeling that he was
just to talk to him in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Did you say that, Dad?
He was just you know,
He might have been
bragging
just
or, you know.
yeah.
Hey,
Was I
it's-
at the house where I was down?
I don't
could have
even
been.
know because I didn't see you.
Okay.
But I was like, it's Christmas. Is Jimmy here? Yeah. Oh, is he coming over? Nah, you know, he was hanging out with Madonna last night. Whatever he said,
This is-
pissed me off for like 10 years.
Wow. 10 years.
Yeah, I was
Holy
like,
shit.
I think it's a little fucking deeper than that. You know?
Wow.
I guess I'm not cool now. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I never actually spoke to you. It was nothing you ever actually did.
Wow. No, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. I know also, like, I would come down and it did not feel good talking to your mom. Like, it was too painful.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And dude, that's another thing. After your sister passed, she gave me poems that I never knew.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
explained the deeper feeling she had for me. And that hit me so hard. Like I mean, the poems were like, if I'd rather not be here, or I don't want to say alive. I'd have to then to not have him. Like, oh my God, wow. And that's why it was very it didn't feel good to go over there. I didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to deal.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Like, I know how to deal with it now.
So do I.
But
so do I.
There's no death class.
There's no death class. There's no class on death.
Yeah.
On any level whatsoever. So wow, that's interesting. So now you're pissed.
So I see you at the airport. I'm like, Jim. And then you were like, give me your number. I need to talk to you. And I'm like,
sure you do.
Sure you do.
Sure you do.
You know where my mom lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was
Right.
like, okay, I'm not gonna. And then like the next day you were like, hey man, I need to talk to you. I was like, oh, okay. I guess you actually did mean that.
Yes. And then we connected in Tampa. I came down and then I told you everything.
Yeah.
You cried. We cried.
Yeah.
We both teared
No,
up.
it was awesome.
It was awesome. It was such a killer healing thing. But I guess the real point of it all is, would that have happened? I don't know. I don't believe it would have. I don't know what that is. But you can't explain to me any other reason than it's something deeper. It's a deeper connection to something.
Yeah.
And I wish my daughter would watch this and listen to it, because it did. And I don't know. I feel like people don't understand a deeper value in life until they lose someone.
Yeah.
Until you lose someone you deeply love, you don't realize how delicate life really is.
Yeah.
You don't understand how easy it is just to go, yep, this is gone. And you go, whoa, what?
Yeah.
What's going
That's
on?
it?
What do you mean that's it? No. Impossible. I just watched up north. I watched a dear friend. I didn't watch her, but she just passed, left 3, and all I could do is look at the 3, just going, you got some right ahead of you.
Yeah.
You got some emotional. And this is what I tell people too. That's why grudges, being angry. And I have other couples that would get pissed at me. I go, one thing Dee and I do, which we're not doing very good lately, Ev, is don't go to bed with unsolved issues. Don't go to bed angry, because you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think you know, you don't know. But yeah, That is, I wanted to tell that story, and I wanted to people know, yes, this is real. Sean is real. I'm real. This is all this life existed and happened. And then it was really cool seeing you and your dad up in Boston. Your dad was a great guy. Yes, you had a good relationship.
Yeah,
he seemed like he had a great relationship.
He had another one of those huge funerals,
monster
or wake. We didn't have a funeral because he didn't want one. So
right. So
he's like, wake. That's it. That's
wake,
what I want.
Party done.
I'm glad I got to have that conversation with him.
What'd you have with him?
He was like, "This is what I want to die."
No kidding.
Yeah.
Do you ever?
It wasn't a lot of requirements. He was like,
"What do you want? What were the big requirements?"
Nobody's gonna set foot in a church.
Okay.
Grew up Catholic school, nuns beating on him. Not fond memories. And that's kind of what you're supposed to do in Boston when you're Irish and you're Catholic.
Right. It's New York.
You
everywhere.
have to do this.
Yeah.
So that was tough with the whole family in the room going, no, we're not doing that.
I love it.
Because he told me, he said, don't set foot in a church, have a cool ass wake, and then don't bury me or anything. It should just burn me.
Just burn it. It's done. Build a pot.
No church, have a party, burn me.
Burn.
That's what I want.
Yeah. I have.
Make sure Karen's okay.
And make sure Karen's okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's out in Cali right now.
Really?
Yeah. One of her sons lives out there. So.
Okay, so that makes sense. So now here's interesting. So let's talk about your. I want to see how we do in time. Oh wow, perfect.
Can I tell you a story?
Tell me
from back in the day,
please.
Because this was after you left, but I don't know if you know about this.
Okay.
Do you know about your mom's car accident in the garage?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love this.
Okay. Okay.
So me and my partner in crime, there's drugs involved in this story, so I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I kicked him in the tree. You remember that?
Yeah.
He was bugging me out like, dude, I don't want to. I said something about karate and self-defense, and then I ended up just, kicking him right through the bushes.
So we used to smoke pot, but like late 80s, early 90s pot is like not that good.
Totally different. Yeah. Bugs in it. There's a lot of twigs.
It's like you barely
seeds.
Get high. And then for the first time, I spent like real money on really good weed.
Okay.
So we're in the smoking area where the garbage cans are in between our two houses.
Yep.
And we smoke up and we get stupid high.
Okay.
Like really paranoid.
Yeah.
And then we're like looking over the fence, like, what do we do? Let's sneak.
You're
off
still on the side?
We're still on the side, but now we got to get out of here.
Streets there.
Yeah.
You're here.
My mom's gonna come out. Somebody's gonna come out. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So we're like trying to just get the gate open silently.
Yes.
So we're walking out, and then we see your mom pulling up in the car.
Okay.
Like pulling into the driveway.
All right.
So we're like, all right, be cool. We gotta say hi. We can't walk away. That'll look stupid. Like, all right. And so she comes in a little hot. Like a little fast.
She probably had some cocktails. No offense.
She was a little.
I'm sure she was.
So I think this is what she intended to do. She came in and stopped, and she turned her head and goes something like, "How you doing, boys?" Like that.
Garage door open or shut?
Garage door's wide open.
Okay.
And then we're like, "Hi, Mrs. Breuer." And then we all hear this noise. Like, what the fuck is going on? So I think what had happened was your mom mashed down the brake and the gas pedal.
Yes, and she hit. Yes, she hit
the washing machine.
The washing machine and cracked the wall.
Yeah. But I was there. So she put both, her foot caught the brake.
Yes.
But it's all accelerator.
Oh my God.
So the car's going like, but it's not moving. And I'm
right here.
Like we're
but
this
high
far
as snot.
And I am high as a kite and I don't know what to do. And I was like, what's going on? And she's like, what the fuck is going on? And then she screams. She just goes, ah! and looks and makes direct eye contact with me, and I scream, and we're just screaming in each other's face. Ah! And I think at that moment, her foot slips off the brake, and now it's all gas, and just boom, and then the car's gone, big crash, and then a wave of water comes out from the fucking washing machine.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm like, I have no idea what to do now. Now I'm like, now I'm in full fucking panic mode, right?
Yeah.
So I run in the garage, soapy water everywhere, slip face first, plant, splash. Now I'm covered in soapy water. I get up to the door and I'm like, are you okay? Like,
yeah.
I don't even think I said anything. We're just staring at each other's eyes.
Okay.
And then, boom, your dad hits me. I don't know if he came out of the house or he's on the porch, but he's just in his underwear to get to her. You know what I mean?
He always one of those get out of the way.
Like he hip checked me.
Okay.
Enough that I went down in the fucking water again.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like he was like,
wow.
And then he's screaming, are you okay? Are you okay? You know how he is.
Yeah. Dar. He didn't say Dar. He went Dar.
Right. Hey.
Her name was Dar.
Are you all right?
Dar.
Get out. So then he rips her out of the car to check if she's okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And she's like, yes. Then he's like, what the fuck? She's like, I don't know. And then I stand back up, so it's me. I've got like, I've probably got like a Megadeth shirt on and a mohawk. I'm covered in soap. And I'm standing next to him while they scream at each other, but they're blocking. I can't get out of the garage. So I just got to stand there
and take it.
And I'm like, ugh. And then they both stop and look at me. And he goes, get the fuck out of the garage. I would be more than happy to, but then I had to kind of squeeze in between them because the car was close.
Yes, and he knew you were
high.
God.
He had to.
You were high.
Like they were like, yelling and screaming. Your mom's like, I don't know what happened. He's like, what the fuck? You hit the fucking wall. And then they both go like, why is he here?
Oh my God. I remember hearing about this and I remember coming down like, what? I don't know what happened. I just happened. He's like, nice, cracked the whole wall. Nice, right?
The fucking washing machine was like around the car. Yeah.
Complete. I didn't know you were there for that. That's freaking hilarious.
Well, I didn't want to tell anybody the story because
it's a great story.
No, but like I couldn't say to my mom, like, it was really awkward because I was so high. Right. You know what I mean?
It's much easier now.
So it just like, she hit the wall. It's weird.
Yeah, it was bad stuff.
There's another thing I got to confess to you.
Please.
Me and that same dude.
Yes.
Used to tape your dad.
Tape?
Yeah. We would get a boombox and record your dad late at night when he was at the end of the driveway.
Oh!
I cannot find this fucking tape. Because then we used to mix it into like just weird sentences.
He was so funny and outrageous.
Yeah.
We as little kids used to, me and my nieces, they're all my age, would hang out in the staircase in the basement and listen to the adults. And my father was always holding court.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he'd always say shit like, your ass is twisted.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go back on your He'd say all these sayings.
Yeah.
And we'd always pretend he was in church. Let's pretend he's talking to the pastor in church. And we would laugh, your ass is twisted. And we'd howl.
Yeah.
Why don't you go shit in your hat?
I have no idea what happened to that tape.
Oh, man.
It was, and because sometimes he would say weird shit to lead off a story.
Yes.
He'd be like, hammerhead sharks won't hurt you. And then we would just take that, like back with the dual cassette.
Yes.
And then the next one was like, I used to drink fermented pineapple juice in the Navy.
See,
And then we just string them together and then just get stoned and listen to that tape.
oh my God. Do you realize if you find that tape,
I could sell it to you for $1 million.
we'll go. If we can go in on that, I think we'd make a killing. We'd make a killing.
It was crazy. I forget what started. We were playing music on a boombox at a party at, I think, my house.
Yeah.
And then the tape had ended or whatever, and there was a blank tape in there, and I think I just hit record, and it was like your dad and like 6 other neighbors, and then I was listening back to it, and then like every time he chimed in, I'm like, this is funny,
So funny.
and then but like my boombox was like this big.
Yeah, we had huge boom boxes back
So
then.
I would walk up to him and be like, "Hey, Mr. Breuer, what's going on?"
He had no clue.
He had no idea.
He had no idea. Wow.
And then to get the mic close to him, I would like put it on my shoulder. So it'd just be standing.
You're standing with a boombox with my dad.
Tell me about the Navy, Mr. Breuer.
Wow. I remember him too. He'd say things like, he would never tell me about the war. I go, Dad, what's the war? He goes, wow, thank God for the rednecks. Why? Well, they're the ones that knew how to ferment and make alcohol out of anything. Like, that's it? That's all? World War II, that's all I get?
Yeah.
Rednecks making alcohol. Okay. But I'd hear him tell other people. It was amazing. He had no problem telling others. Yeah. Wow. That's really, man, Sean, if you find that, I don't expect you to. Cassette tapes
he was
probably,
such a character.
He was a
man.
character.
He was
Funny
like
as
growing
shit.
up next to you guys. It was like,
Yeah. Those were
your mom was my favorite. She was
She was funny.
funny as shit.
She was really funny.
Your
And she was
dad
on the
wasn't
ball.
intentionally funny.
No, he wasn't. That's the thing. Like, he wasn't with younger people. He wasn't intentional. He was actually more to try to get a rise out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where my mom was funny,
Yeah.
and
She was
had,
hilarious.
and she had great intuition. She had great intuition. She really, wow. Yeah, it was a good time.
But that's that night. That's why we stopped to talk to her, because we always did.
Yes.
If Mrs. Breuer was outside, we would go talk to her, because she would just come up with this zany ass shit.
Right. She was a Zane ball. So you're in a band now.
Yeah. A couple of them, but my main one is called Ghost Front.
Ghost Friend. Front. Ghost Front.
Yeah.
I should know that. You told me that.
They're
You
pretty
showed
good.
me it. I've listened to it. Ghost Front. Is there a website and all that jazz? Can they listen to Spotify
Yeah,
or no?
Spotify.
Ghost Front
all
on
that shit.
Spotify.
All the streaming platforms.
All the streaming
It's
platforms.
one word.
Yeah. This was cool. Let's go get lunch. You up
Sounds
for
good.
that?
Yeah.
Sean Pomeroy. I love you, man. It's good to
love
see
you,
you. God, what a journey. Holy shit. Hope you guys have a good one. Also, thank you, YouTube. They sent, I don't have it. I'll make a live video. You guys sent me a plaque. I guess I don't know. After you get 100,000 subscribers, they send you a plaque. I don't know. And I was told like now I'm official. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Cool.
Thank you, YouTube. That was very kind of you. And I'll make a live stream and thank you some more. Check out jimbrew.com, all that jazz. But I'm glad you tuned in for this. This is pretty wild stories. And however you want to take them, take them. I know I lived them. Sean lived them. And I know what I've seen and feel. So with that, be safe. We'll check out next week. Have a good one.
Take a look around and what do you see? Mark the date down tonight, we're making history.
Hey, this is Jim Breuer, and I got my own Patreon page, and hopefully you'll check it out. Live comedy concerts streamed once a month. Weekly, you host your own podcast, and you interview me. Early access to the Breuniverse podcast every single week, and have bonus footage and bonus segments, and you get to access my last comedy special, Somebody Had to Say It. There's a lot there. I promise you I'm not going to let you down. Go check out my official Jim Breuer Patreon page, and I'll see you there.